Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Split Labs channel. Today is February 7th, 2026. As always, before we jump into today's best bets, this video is completely powered by Split Labs because we built the exact tool that we wanted to use as bettors. Split Labs shows you the public betting splits, line movement, market signals across all major sports in one place. If you want to see where the crowd is going, what the line is doing, and where the market is hinting at, that's literally what we do every single day. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe if it helps you at all, especially when any of your bets. And if you'd like access to the full slate for every sport, as I said, it's available at the link in the description, splitlabs.net. Use promo code YouTube for 50% off your first month. So with that being said, let's jump into today's NBA's best bets. We have to go over, it's technically the day before yesterday because I missed a video, guys. Bear with me. I was on a roll this week, but we did miss yesterday. So as you can see, it says yesterday 3-2. That's actually the day before, or just our last video. We had the Mavericks over 229.5, which cashed pretty comfortably. Mavericks plus 6.5. I remember in the fourth quarter, this almost had a chance and then just complete collapse. Nets over 214.5. We cashed that comfortably. Hornets under 216.5. Very comfortable winner. And then the Pistons under 226. We lost that bet. So we ended the day before yesterday. Not yesterday. Technically yesterday as a YouTube channel. 3-2, so positive day on the books. We love that. But with that being said, as always, we quickly celebrate our wins and we never apologize for losses because that's a part of the game. So let's jump into today's NBA slate. We got a few early games here and I'd love to dive into that for you. Let me get this view going and we'll see what we've got here. Starting off with the Wizards versus the Brooklyn Nets. Mid versus mid. I mean, come on. Who really wants to bet on this game? If you do, you should probably do a little bit of a self-reflection. To be honest, I bet on this game last night. So I need to have a talking to of myself, especially if my pick doesn't come through. But it's going to be nice for me at least to look through these numbers and kind of see with you guys what has changed since I placed this bet at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Washington Wizards versus Brooklyn Nets. Currently seeing the Wizards at 51% of bets for Washington plus 6, 37% of money. So there are sharp money or big money bettors. I can't say big money bettors because realistically, who's really betting on Brooklyn Nets right now? But people that, wager more are betting on the Brooklyn Nets to cover the spread. So definitely something to note. It opened at plus 4.5. For the Wizards. It's now sitting at plus 6, right? So that means Brooklyn originally was a 4.5 favorite. The books are respecting this sharp money that's coming in. They're adjusting this line. It's now -6. Obviously be cautious of that. If you're, definitely line shop, this is where we always say this is the importance of line shopping and like understanding what books are offering. The betting splits are not purely FanDuel. We take into account various sports books and combine it all into one. However, our line is always FanDuel with like a backup of DraftKings if for whatever reason FanDuel doesn't have the number available. But this is definitely something to line shop, right? You're missing out on 1.5 points. It's pretty big in the NBA. The money line is almost a pick'em, pretty much. It is a pick'em, right? 51% of bets, 50% of money. Like, no one's really trying to bet on the Wizards versus the Nets, rightfully so. The books have found a comfortable place between this -245, because who in their right mind is taking a -245 money line? I can't suggest that you guys take that. Plus 200 for the Wizards. I can't tell you to take that because I don't think the Wizards win this game. I don't think this is the upset spot. And then on the total, it opened at 219.5. It's now sitting at under or 218.5. So it moved down to the under by 1 point. 51% of bets, 42% of money. So again, the books are kind of respecting this money at the under a little bit more than they are with the over. With that being said, guys, last night I looked at these lines. I actually saw the open. I figured I go over these open current numbers with you guys, and like the numbers just shift so dramatically. Where like I feel like if I put the bet in earlier, I can get the better number, right? Like that's kind of how it is. So it really does shift the perspective as I like walk through this with you guys and then tell you what to bet, because now with where the money line is, I'm not going to tell you to take the Brooklyn Nets minus 245. I got this number at minus 184. So personally, I am on the Brooklyn Nets. I do think they win this game. In this video, I can't tell you to take this. It just not in good faith. Do not bet the Brooklyn Nets on this money line. I'd love to place that on my record if/when they win this game, because I feel really confident that they will. I have to point you guys to the spread. I have to point you guys to the spread here and take this minus. If you guys can get a -5 on the Brooklyn Nets, I'd feel comfortable with that middle ground, only losing out on like 0.5 points, just because it's the Brooklyn Nets. But if you can line shop, see if we can get a 5.5, a 5, and take the Brooklyn Nets to cover. Look at the team advantages here. Let me get to the better view for you guys so you guys can see it. It's just a mid. The Brooklyn Net inches out in like defense, so that's a positive. Discipline, I mean, they're slightly more disciplined, so yeah, but again, this is a 13-37 team for a reason. So I'm telling you guys, bet the Brooklyn Nets spread, and that's where I'm at. I feel pretty confident that the Nets pulled this out. Next game, we've got the Rockets versus the Thunder, and we have a lot of money coming in on the Rockets. Like, let's just talk about this. 72% of bets, 91% of money on the Rockets. The books are respecting it. It opened at plus 5.5. It's going down to plus 3.5. That's definitely something to consider. However, again, concern is that, well, the Rockets are the underdog. So, like, if the public really does think that the Rockets pull this off like this, I mean, I feel like the books found a sweet spot. As far as the money line, again, straight up, people are taking the Rockets. 70% of bets, 73% of money on the Rockets, and the books are respecting it. It opened at plus 184, now sitting at plus 136. So again, the books are respecting these bets, but again, it's because people keep taking it. As far as the total, we've got, it opened at 217.5. It's now sitting at 213.5. We are losing out on 4 points. I can't in good conscience tell you to bet this number. It's a terrible number right now. And this is why we always urge you guys, lock in with us. Head over to splitlabs.net. Use promo code YouTube for your first month, just so you can see kind of how this information benefits your bet. Because now you know, like, if you're placing these bets right before game time or like in the morning closer to the day, you're missing out on so much. You're thinking that the books are like putting this line, and look at what you're missing out on. Like, I mean, you gotta take that into consideration with your bet, because how many times have you seen a bad beat where you lose it by 1, 2, 3 points last second, like buckets in the NBA? It's excruciating, and I've been there. So please really consider the line movement when you're placing your bet. It's such an important number. I can't tell you guys to take the under. I do think this game goes under, but again, we're so late to the number here. I wouldn't advise to take this under 213.5. If you feel comfortable moving the line, you know, back upwards towards the 217. I mean, at this point, 217.5 is probably like a minus 200 something. If you can get some points back, I would, and I'd play that under. Again, this is a no bet for me. As far as the money line, I'm going to go minus 162. I have to fade the public here just because this is such a public dog, and history has shown me that public dogs just typically don't win out like that. Give me the OKC Thunder, and we're going to go with that. Next game, we've got the Mavericks versus the Spurs. Why do I feel like, did they just play each other? Am I crazy? I feel like this is the game in my last video that I said the Mavericks were going to cover, and they almost did, but then they disappointed me. So I'm strongly inclined to once again fade the Mavericks, but let me just double check that really quickly before I say it, because I feel like I'm not going crazy. Yeah, they just played. Okay, yeah, this was the last game in the video where I said the Mavericks should cover, and now look at what the public's doing. So we have the Mavericks plus 9.5 right now, getting 85% of bets, 95% of the money. It opened at plus 11.5. It's now setting, as you guys can see, plus 9.5. And then on the money line, we're seeing 74% of bets, 73% of money on the San Antonio Spurs. They are minus 390, right? So you're pretty much pushed towards this number. And this is what we always say. Always. When the book prices you out of the money line and forces you to then take a spread, especially at a big number, people get scared. Your typical bettor gets really scared of these numbers and they say, well, I don't particularly love that I have to depend on San Antonio to beat the Mavericks by 10 points. I'd rather take my chances at the Mavericks covering such a large spread. They're not terrible, right? They have Cooper Flag. They have all these people. They did just trade AD. Not that he was doing anything for them, but like, come on, like, there's news behind this team. But I think the Mavericks are good enough to hang in. And if they win, that's an even better incentive for me. I'm just going to lay the points with the dog. And this is, I feel like, what's exactly happening. These teams just played each other. The Mavericks didn't cover then. I don't think that they cover today because look at what we're seeing here. The public is jumping on this heavy number. Instead, I'm going to go with the Dallas Mavericks team total under here. I'm also going to go with the Spurs minus 9.5 just because we are getting a better number. Let me see if I can track down the current team total so I can give you guys the right number that I'm planning on playing here. All right, so we've got a team total of 110.5. We're going to go Mavs team total under 110.5. That's how we're going to fade the public on this spread. And then give me San Antonio Spurs minus 9.5. If I get this wrong and I'm over 2 on this matchup, I will be upset with myself, but it just is what it is. As far as the over, we're seeing it's kind of at a pick'em, 230.5 right now, which is the open price or the open line. We're seeing 76% of bets on this. So people are pretty confident in this over. What I do think is going to happen are these points are going to come from the San Antonio Spurs. I'm not particularly going to play this over. Instead, I'm going to go the opposite route and do kind of similar to what I did with the Mavs team total. I'm going to take San Antonio over 119.5 on their team total because I think the points are coming from this dog. Not this dog, sorry, the favorite. I think this might be a blowout game, guys. I think they're going to win and cover this 10. I think they're going to put up the points, and that's going to go that way. I'm not going to rely on, like, the Mavs to put up points just because if I'm saying I don't think they're covering by 10, how close do I really expect this game to be? Should be pretty lopsided. Those are my plays to lock me in for that. Last game of the day that I will cover, let me just look with you guys really quickly and kind of see what we've got. This Nuggets game and Bulls game is looking really enticing, I can't lie. We've also got the Warriors versus the Lakers. Could be a fun one. I'm seeing a lot of money on the Warriors right now, but let's go Nuggets. This one looks pretty fun. Denver Nuggets versus Chicago Bulls. We've got a lot of money and bets all over the place here, all pointing towards one side. So we have, sorry guys. All right, there we go. It's still early for whatever reason. As I said, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. Denver Nuggets, Chicago Bulls. Denver Nuggets minus 5.5, 84% of bets, 88% of money. Denver opened at a minus 4. They are now minus 5.5. So the books are moving this number according to the bets and the money. So positive sign. Yeah, there's just a lot of money on it, which is a little scary. Again, Denver Nuggets opened at minus 175. They're taking in 84% of bets, 85% of money. Is pretty similar to the spread. The books are not seeing any indication that the Bulls are going to blow this out. They're respecting it. They're now sitting at a minus 215. And then on the total, we have over 232.5. It opened at 230. We have a lot of money and bets on this. 78% of bets, 93% of money on over 232.5. Opened at 230. I'd say without me being nervous, the over is probably my favorite bet on this board. It's trending in the correct direction. I also think it'll be like the play that the public wins because I don't know if the Denver Nuggets actually win this game. There's so much money on this team and it's only a minus 215. And the books are correcting really hard towards the favorite. They are. However, I would think that with all of this money on it, this would be more than minus 215. 215 is like that place where people are like, this is okay for a parlay leg. I'll throw it in. They should win. It's the Denver Nuggets to get bent, like against the freaking Chicago Bulls. Give me Chicago Bulls spread plus 5.5. I'm getting a better number for it. I don't necessarily think that they win outright, right? Like Denver is clearly the better team. But I do think we're going to see something fun and funky where the Bulls just somehow stay competitive enough to cover this 5.5 spread. So give me that, and that will be my last bet on the NBA slate today. With that being said, guys, as always, if you want access to the full games, all line movements, head over to splitlabs.net, use promo code YouTube in your first month, and get access to the playbook where you can see player props, line movement, public betting splits, win percentages, and more, and just get access to everything that we think that might benefit your bets. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, a fantastic weekend. It's the Super Bowl as well, so have fun, eat well. I'll have another video posted probably really early on Sunday just to go over NFL with you guys, so that'll be really exciting. But it's football Sunday tomorrow, but football weekend, and we're really excited for Super Bowl. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Drop in the comments your best bets for NBA. As always, like and subscribe to this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one for Super Bowl. Have a good one.